Alright, so I got one off page for you. I haven't read this one in public before, actually, so I might skip a little bit. My words, not like the actual pieces of the poem. I'll leave them all in there. 1. Rose Bowl, November 1997. Mouse kneels next to me, posing for my father's cameras. Mud-caked padded black pants, cleats, Swiss cheese red jerseys, and slate gray cat scratch helmets with 16 other early teenage hooligan underdogs from Herndon, Virginia, beaming at their role in the biggest upset in Fairfax County youth football history. Mouse struggles to hold a smile below sapphire husky X-Acto knife irises, his lips unfamiliar with the expression even after a 32-yard jailbreak for the winning touchdown. From an early age, Mouse and I learned to persevere, making the unlikely choice to keep pushing against the statistics even when we couldn't see the end zone through the battle lines. We learned to stand behind the center and still chip away at the roadblocks ahead. 2. Out Like a Lamb, April 2010. 13 years and 4 hours after the greatest win in our at-risk lives up to that point, victories are harder to dig out of the rubble. I'm reading time in the secondhand silence of the Fairfax County Jail waiting room, 3 a.m. lids drooping over weary gray eyes too wise for their age. The forecast from the silence says smoke and mirrors with a chance of fluorescent radiation, the same kind of spotlights Mouse and I choreographed our truancy to. I stare at the armored door when it claps like a snare drum, growls game show, megaphone buzz. Mouse appears fading in front of me behind the light at the end of an underground tunnel, strapped inside the same green sweatpants and white undershirt he was abducted in. Because you see, warrant executions don't have a dress code these days. He acknowledges my existence with a glance and a mask, undertows into the budget-cut chair, sickly green pleather on particle board, and 3 pairs of unsteady legs, not broken, just used to this shit. Mouse takes the bondsman's clipboard without even looking. This is a routine. He pauses. I hand him my pen. This is muscle memory. Picking up the pieces is just like riding a bike. You never forget. 3. In Like a Lion, March 2010. Mouse finds out about the warrant and tells me about 3 things he remembers. 1, the purse straps calling lonely in the grocery cart. 2, the $300 cash bonus. 3, the 3-year minimum for felony credit card theft. He tells me about 3 things he lost count of a few years ago. 1, how many girls he's fucked. 2, how many times he's been to jail. I roll 2 cigarettes. From between the bars and the citadel above, I imagine the view of 2 silent red fireflies weaving forget-me-nots into the crisp humidity of a southern April afterthought. This may be the last jack we smoke together before I move 11 states away from my comrade and our waning innocence. We are both becoming guilty of something in the eyes of someone beyond ourselves. I'm leaving behind my partner in crime. I'm setting down the helmet. I take another drag and float backwards, like clockwork. 4. Relapse, February 2010. His girlfriend and I are the only ones who know he's relapsed besides the dope man. Tina keeps her promise and leaves him. He runs out of money, runs out of smack. He doesn't know I know this, but I've heard this shaky baritone, this voice before. I know it like the back of the book that I dodged by using in seclusion. I can see his waist size shrinking through contracted pupils. I spend 3 days listening to him vomiting through the bathroom doors. 3. How many times he said, "This is the last time." Resuscitation, August 2009. I've been clean for 18 months and I got the key tag to prove it. I find my father's photograph. I search for him on Facebook and see we have a few mutual friends, 6 anonymous former cokeheads, drunkards, dope fiends, and speed freaks. We meet at the mall after Mouse's first shift in 3 years. My best friend comes back to me, resurrected from the shooting dead, complexion in his face again, no sunken cheeks, no indigo halos around lifeless eyes, standing in the sun casting sidewalk shadows over somewhere other than his ribs. My best friend is alive. 6. Thistletoe, December 2005. I visit Mouse in Baltimore. He lives 1 state north because the trip was too much time awake for 3 grinds a week. It was inconvenient. Mouse says a proper game of Russian roulette should be delivered straight to one's doorstep. Mouse waits to get high until Warren and I arrive, asks me if I'm comfortable being in his girlfriend's apartment, because he knows I'm about to see a different life than we had growing up. I'm about to see the kind of life that comes with a price you pay interest on, the kind that extracts its debt from your body fat, the kind that only daisies collect back on. Same seat on the roller coaster every day, linear, routine, spiraling downward and comfortably numb. He knows I'm gonna see lighters licking spoons and boiling black tar, hastily acquired needles mostly clean, kissing craters into moon dust skin, bloodborne sirens, hemorrhage death in full, a cappella, an engagement ring of junkies getting sick together. Mouse knows I'm gonna hear him throwing up in the bathroom sink, exchanging intestines for an intravenous slow dance with endorphins. Mouse knows I'm gonna see him. See who he is now. His hips death rattling inside his faded jeans, belt around biceps instead of his waist. He knows I'm gonna see him like that photograph, drop back down to the 95-pound league. Mouse hugs me, tries a smile, unfamiliar to the expression on withering cheek muscles, as close as happy as he can manage. 7. Tiebreaker, November 1997. Down! Sit! Put! A young quarterback pitches the ball to Mouse. Mouse cradles it like an infant, sweeps right, eye block, bulldozing 3 feet in front of him, daring every would-be thief with the frost on my breath. Mouse runs in my dust, grass and clay asteroids gaining altitude in our wake, Earth collapsing under the industry of our footsteps. Don't fuck with my friend. I set sights on the goal line, eyes on our adversaries, steamroll the linebacker, shoulder to a stray cornerback, palm thrust towards safety long enough for Mouse to toe the powdered white line after 32 yards against all statistics. Never one to celebrate. Mouse doesn't spike the ball. He kneels, feathers the football down like an egg, like a poppy. Mouse peels off his helmet, looks back at me, and smiles. Thank you.